I love my time co-hosting with my first guest on The View. But my favorite part was dishing with her behind the scenes about our favorite topic, our exes. Always used to talk about that. Now she's sharing stories in her brilliant off-Broadway show, My First Ex-Husband. So please welcome my friend, Joy Behar. Joy, I gotta tell you, I miss you so much, and I miss sitting with you at The View.
I know.
We had the most fun.
We miss you there.
Oh, thank you.
I mean it. Well, you were there for all the good stuff. The fight between Rosie and Hasselbeck, remember?
This was.
You were there for that.
I was there for some good stuff.
You were there, yeah.
But we used to have so much fun, like, on screen at the table, because I sat right next to you.
Yeah.
And then off, when the show was over, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it's like, I thought about it, Joy. You've been doing The View for nearly 30 years.
I'm what they call... Oh, thank you. I am what they call a lifer.
You're a lifer.
I'm a lifer.
Okay.
I had a life sentence.
Do you ever see yourself, like, do you see yourself doing... like, you just need it on The View. You see yourself even going longer?
Oh, I don't know. A person has to die at some point.
I wasn't thinking about all of that, Joy. I'm just, you're so funny. I just think, because, you know, I watch you, we over here watch you every day after this show ends, and then we watch you. But, like, your opinions and everything, the world is so polarizing now. It's so much chaos.
Yeah.
Y'all have the political, you know, the political discussions, and sometimes it gets very, very heated. But you manage to cut through everything with your humor. I just gotta ask you, I know I'm a comic, how do you do it so effortlessly?
You know, what was your position in the family as a child? Because I don't know, what was it?
I was always the one that kept the peace. What made everybody laugh.
Okay, well, that's my role, too.
Yeah.
When things would get tough and they would get tense, I'd come in with something and everybody would laugh and it would dissipate all of the rage.
Yes.
You know, and we became comedians because, well, I don't know, when I grew up with a depressed mother. You know, she was kind of bipolar, I think.
Your mother was?
She must have been. I mean, we didn't call it that in those days. You say, my Aunt Rose used to say, you know, so-and-so has a split personality. I'd say, really, what does that mean? She'd say, well, sometimes she says hello, sometimes she don't want to be bothered.
Yes, I had a lot of those aunties.
Yeah, so those were split personalities in those days.
Yes.
But my mother, she would be either on the table dancing and singing, or she'd be at the sink saying, dear God, give me the strength to wash these brassieres. So you never know where she was coming from. So as a child, I would try to make her laugh.
Yeah, because you knew that was it, and then it would be good within the household. Exactly, and this is what you do on the show. I love watching y'all when y'all do the Hot Topics.
Yeah.
And so we were talking, so I want your opinion on this. We were talking the other day, or I was, about Jason Isaacs, one of the stars from The White Lotus.
Oh, yeah.
And he did a scene where, you know, he did some, like a full frontal kind of, not full frontal, but he showed a portion of his, you know, of his...
I didn't see that. You mean full Mr. Happy?
Yeah, he showed Mr. Happy.
Whoa.
Like, he was sitting in a chair and Mr. Happy was out. And so he was on Gayle King's show, and Gayle asked him, was it real?
Oh,
like, was it him or was it real? So he got a little upset, and he said it was a double standard and nobody does this to women. Like, how do you feel about when women ask men about, you know, is it real or...
I'm still on Gayle said, is it fake? How would it be fake?
Because we didn't know if it was a prosthetic or not. You know,
so wait, if it was a prosthetic, then what did he do with the real Mr. Happy?
But here's the thing, if it ain't happy enough, you use a prosthetic.
Oh.
So Gayle just wanted to know if it was real, but...
Maybe Mr. Happy needs an antidepressant. All right, go ahead.
This girl, and this is what I get from this woman all the time. I just was curious about, because I felt like, you know, we do this with...
So he actually got mad?
I don't think he got mad. I think he was just like, you know, why are you asking me this? You wouldn't when people do it to a woman, it's, you know...
Would you ever pose naked for anything? I mean, I always say for a man to see me naked, I have to be in his will.
Girl!
Yes, but I don't go for exposing myself in public or even in my bedroom.
You do. Let me tell you something. You do everything else. You couldn't do something. You couldn't do a nude something.
You know, I was considering maybe porn for the blind. But other than that, no. Nothing.
Okay, and so that leads me to my next question.
Yeah.
Joy Behar, do you miss doing stand-up comedy?
No, do you?
Yes, I do. I always have to be on stage.
Oh.
I can't not be on stage. What are you
I
talking about?
can't.
You just did stand up in this chair.
Well, that's different. I'm sitting. And when you're sitting, it's different. You know, I always feel like stand-up, it was always difficult for me in a way.
Okay.
Because I would get nauseous, I would throw up, I'd have the runs. Before I had to go on, it was bad.
Yes.
So then I'd get laughs, and I would like it, and then I'd have a glass of wine, and then they'd say, okay, you have to do it again tomorrow. And we're like, I don't want to do it again. Because it's hard to do.
It is hard to do. You sound like you're the one with the split personality.
I
Joey,
am.
You know?
I am. Well, like mother, like daughter.
Like mother, like daughter.
No, but to me, it's always like I'm naked on stage, which I told you already, I don't enjoy that. And everybody else is wearing clothes. That's how it feels.
As a stand-up comics, we have to be very vulnerable. That's what draws people in.
Yeah.
To make folks laugh. So you don't like being that vulnerable.
Well, if you're vulnerable, too vulnerable, they get scared that you're scared.
Yeah.
So you have to show confidence. That's why it's so hard to do in the beginning, because you have no confidence.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just have to learn it.
That's
okay,
right.
so then I just have to rely on you to do your stand-up when you're sitting at the table.
That's right. If I'm sitting, it's fine. I used to do Jay Leno all the time, always sitting. And he'd say, why don't you do a set? And I'd say, no, why would I do that? Put myself in that position.
Because you're funny, that's why.
Yeah, but I could be funny sitting and standing. What's the difference? Lying
this is
down.
why-
I'm really hilarious lying down.
So this is what I want to say, because you're not doing stand-up, you get to like really indulge in your other passions, and people don't know you're an amazing writer. So I want to congratulate you on your it's your off-Broadway debut of My First Ex-Husband.
Right.
This show's so great. Can you tell us about this show?
Well, I interviewed a bunch of women about I was very interested to hear, why do people get divorced? Because I'm divorced myself.
Yeah.
Hard to believe, isn't it? And because I'm divorced, I was always wondering, why did I even get divorced?
Yeah.
But then when I look back, I know why.
Why?
Well, I was like a child when I got married. I was 22. We were like two unformed pieces of protoplasm.
You know what I mean? Together.
And then there we get together trying to actually act like we're married. It was ridiculous, really.
It was.
You know, so that ended. And there are other reasons probably too. But so I interviewed women to see what happened to them. I was curious. And so after I spoke to people for hours, I put it on tape, and I personally transcribed it because I'm a very good typist. That's one of my skills.
All right.
Then I would make it into a short monologue that made sense.
Yeah.
And add and subtract things.
And I love it because it's these short monologues, and they're really amazing. And some stories are so touching. Some are laugh out loud, funny. They're different stories of women and what they went through being married.
Right.
And why it didn't work.
And they're all different.
They're all different.
Right.
And you have different actresses reading them. So you have, right now, Susan Lucci, Judy Gold, Tanya Pinkins, and Vianne Cox. They are an amazing cast. So they get on stage and they read these stories.
Yeah. That's the wrong picture.
What's the wrong picture? Who's wrong in this? There's Susan Lucci, Judy Gold.
The one with the glasses next to Judy Gold is not in it anymore. She got ill. So Vianne Cox is in it now.
Cox took her place.
We don't have her picture, though.
And so, Tanya Pinkins.
Tanya Pinkins is great. Fantastic cast, yeah.
And it's like so it's just a role.
Every 4 weeks, we change the cast.
You change the cast.
And I'm going to go back into it again, April 11th, 12th, and 13th, just for a short thing.
So you actually going to read some of the stories?
Yeah, well, I was in the first round. You were in the round out in the Hamptons.
I did it in the Hamptons for you, and and it was like it was sold out at the theater.
Yeah, we sold out every show. I wish people would come.
No, I'm telling you, it's so funny. And it was so funny getting to see other actresses do it.
Yeah.
Now, you really should get Gayle King on there to read.
Why, she's divorced?
Yeah, Gayle King is divorced. She's got like an amazing story.
Oh, you mean interview her or do her as an actress?
She'd be good if you were going to add stories.
Yeah.
But she would also be good as an actress to read one of your stories.
Why do you say that?
Because Gayle King is funny.
She is.
She's really, first of all, but I was going to say, you better get her because you know she's going to space. Okay, she's got... Gayle King, she announced that she's going to space.
Why?
I don't know why she's
There's so much mishigas and craziness right here. Why do you need to go there?
Gayle, it was like on her bucket list. She's always wanted to try something.
Is Oprah going too?
No, Oprah's not going.
So she's no dummy. She's not going.
Yeah, Oprah not going. You know what Oprah said? Oprah said, you go, Gayle. You go. But like, I love it. So I was just saying you got to get Gayle before she goes to space. Right. But, thinking of bucket list, is there anything that you have? Do you have a bucket list?
Yeah. It's pretty empty at the moment.
It's really empty at the moment?
I emptied it. the bucket list, right?
So you've done everything?
Pretty much. I mean, I've done everything. I mean, I'm writing plays now. I did stand-up. I was a receptionist at Good Morning America.
Oh, you was a receptionist at Good Morning America?
Yeah.
How long did that last?
3 years. I was one of the worst receptionists they've ever had. It's famous. It's a famous story how bad I was.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, people would call me, they'd say, "Where's Joan London?" I'd say, "How the hell do I know?" What am I, I'm not her mother.
Joy, when I tell you, and you don't want to do stand-up no more, you want to do sit-down.
I'll do sit down.
You'll do sit down.
Yeah, sit down, yeah.
Girl, when I tell you I love you so much, I miss you and I adore you.
Are we done already?
Yeah, you gotta go. Like you gotta go. I know you want to stay, but you gotta go.
You know, once I sit down, it's hard to get me to stand up again.
When you sit down, you ready to go. That's what I love. I'll go out and see Joy out, and then we'll just spend like the whole weekend together. Like,
I know.
laughing.
You have to. Why don't you come and do the show again? I know.
Yes, I'll come.
I know you're busy.
Well, it's hard.
You'd come to see Sherri, right?
But it's hard.
She's so funny.
I got this talk show because I got to be up early in the morning.
Every minute you can't. So do it 3 days. Do a weekend.
Okay, now you're putting me in a position. You always do this, Joy.
I did. You know, listen, I did the same thing to Drew Barrymore. She said, yeah, I'll come on. And then her agent said, she's too busy.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. I'm going to keep my word. I'm going to come on and I'm going to do the show with you because I love you.
You heard her.
Because you made me say it. You always make me do this, Joy. Y'all, I want to say, Joy, thank you for being here.
Yes.
Because I love you.
I love you too.
My first ex-husband, and when I tell y'all, this show is so doggone good. Can I say this? You get upset if I say, like, it reminds you kind of like the vagina monologue.
Yeah.
Except
it's the same format without the vaginas. I mean, we have them. But they're not discussed.
Yeah, they're not discussed in the storyline.
Yeah, they're prostheses. Call back.
These stories are so good. My first ex-husband, it is playing at the Manhattan Movement and Art Center now, and it's been extended through May 18th. So please come and see it.